Okay, this is a regular GY6 carburetor. I've already taken it off the engine. This is the intake side, where usually the big snorkel tube would be clamped on here. It goes up to your air filter. This side here is what usually goes to the engine. There's should be like a little elbow tube that kind of comes down, hooks up. The inside there, that's the butterfly valve, they call it. It's how you set your idle. It's your idle screw. This one right here. See, that pushes that needle down there, so it makes it stay open just a little bit more, and that sets your idle. Lets more air fuel mixture come in. This thing right here is, some people call it the auto choke, or I guess the proper word for it is they call it the enricher, the fuel enricher. You can see, and you see that little hole on the inside. Okay, you see that little hole right there. That's going to suck in a little bit more air that mixes with your fuel from the enricher circuit, goes to the other side, the intake of your carburetor, to give you extra fuel during warm-up period. I'm removing the little clip that holds the auto enricher, auto choke, off. That's about all the more it is. It just kind of goes halfway around it and screws in place. And this, you just kind of twist it, and it comes right out. Okay, and this is the bottom of the carburetor. I'm taking the float bowl off. Get off the booger. Alright, I got all those screws off of here, and the bottom of this float bowl just comes right out. Huh. This is kind of disappointing. It's not even dirty. I was expecting to see all sorts of grass or something in there. Okay. And also, be careful, it has this, it's like a rubber O-ring fitted type seal. That's the gasket. That's all the more that it is. Okay. Now this white thing here is the float. You can see it sits in the carburetor, and you know these things are filled with air. So once the gas gets up to a certain point, it moves them up, pushes them up, and there's a little needle. You can barely see the back of it in here. Right inside of here. It pushes that up. When it goes up, see it going up and down. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, so then you push this needle out. You push the needle out, and the whole thing just kind of falls off. Okay. Now I have heard it said that you should take that float off of there before you start spraying carburetor cleaner in there, because it can melt the plastic. Looks like a bullet almost. This is what they call the float needle. The tip of it here is like a rubber, and it just kind of connects onto your float with this. You can see it has this little metal tabs on here. Sometimes when people say you need to adjust your float, you mean to say that you need to bend this little tab. You bend that little tab either in or out to push it, make it so when the float goes up, it pushes it more or pushes it less. I don't really think that little rubber thing could hold up a full gas tank back from coming in through that tiny little hole right here. Okay. If you can see the way these diagrams are, I'll use this as a pointer. This gives fuel to your auto choke, your enricher. See how it'll go up here into this and back up here on the inside would be in your auto enricher. Then this middle one that's recessed, set in there, I think this is your pilot jet, and this one right here, this piece of brass, is your main jet. You pretty much just use a screwdriver to get them out of there, and that's the extent. This hole right here, this is where the gasoline fills up your carburetor from. So whenever that float is low, this needle is supposed to go down, drop down, until it fills up, and then it pushes it. It's supposed to push it shut. It fills up the entire bowl here with your float. And then these levels, you can see how they would sit. This is what keeps your fuel going to the scooter. So I'm going to take the jets out. This is an old carburetor. I really could care less if they get messed up. Okay. And you can see, oh, the camera might not be able to see. Tiny little hole in the middle of that. I guess I need a wrench. Okay. You can see in this one, it's a little dirty in there. You see the tiny little holes. It looks like a flute or pickle fork, piccolo. That's how it atomizes your fuel when it goes up in there. What is that? Oh, that's the inside of that needle. Let's take this apart real quick. Okay, so the spring holds that diaphragm down in there with the needle. I think some of them are adjustable. I'm not sure if this one is. I don't feel... Okay, I'll take it apart just to take a look. There's a little screw all the way down in there that is holding it in place by a little metal plate. Okay. And there is a couple of adjustments on this needle. Wait, if I can make it focus. Here, I'll take the light off of it. No, it just won't focus. Anyways, this little C-clip goes on.
I messed with this thing
slots
when my full throttle wouldn't go all the way upright, and when I had some bogging issues. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some other things, and you feel free to respond.
3. I can't get them to focus on there. And that'll raise or lower your needle where it goes down in here and goes through your main jet. This is the one with the little holes in it. So this needle goes down in here, and it's constantly going up or down. It's fluctuating. Ah, yeah, you can feel it much better when you put that bottom passage back on there. I screw that in. It makes it stop. So when it comes up, this one is the pilot jet.
Make sure you clean out all of those tiny little holes that are in there with like a guitar wire or a piano wire, some real tiny wire that you can fit all the way through there, because sometimes just spraying the carburetor cleaner through there just doesn't make it all the way through the holes.
Now the pilot jet has a bunch of little holes in it also. These are what people are talking about. Your jets are clogged. Those little. Okay, then the next part you want to clean out is this, your air-fuel ratio screw. Okay. Comes out of there. Try to be careful not to bend this tiny little needle here on the end, how that sticks out, because then it won't